Hi, I thought I'd give you a little preview of what we're planning to do in this lesson. This is the bell that it's kind of a decorative bell that you can hang from a tree. And this is what it sounds like. Kind of a nice sound. And down here I have a koala bear. See the little koala bear? And at the top I have a fish. Hi, this is Alex, and he's going to help me make the bell today. So the first thing we need to do is get all of our supplies together. So we have our clay, and we have a piece of plastic right here. We have an 8-inch bowl. This one happens to be about 6 inches, so you can do either 6 or 8-inch bowl. And then I have a round template, which we're going to use for the clapper. Now the clapper is the thing that goes inside the bell and makes the noise. So we want the clapper to be just slightly smaller than the bowl. So that it can clang to make the bell noise, right? Mm-hmm. So we have a clapper that we can use as a pattern. We have our 6 to 8-inch bowl. We have our plastic, which we're going to wrap the bowl in because we're going to do the clay on the outside of the bowl. We need a rolling pin or a dowel like this one that we're going to roll the clay with. We're going to need a pencil. What do we need the pencil for?
To poke it in the bottom. To
make our holes, like we're going to do some beads, and to create the holes to put the string through so that our bell can hang. We need a not sharp knife. This knife is not sharp at all, and this will be able to cut the clay as we cut out our different shapes. And then we need some various things to make textures so that we can press them into the clay to make the different textures. Here, do you want? All right, now we're going to start to make our bell. So the first thing we want to do is take a nice chunk of clay. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to just take a nice chunk of clay off of here. About half of the clay that you got. I know I almost dropped it on the floor. Okay, now we're going to press this down. Okay, help me press it down. Okay. We're going to flatten it out.
And then we're going to pour it on the bowl.
And we're going to put it on the bowl, right? So you just kind of keep pressing it down. If you use the flat part of your hand, it works really good. Like that. Okay, now
I'm just doing this.
Flip it over. Okay. Now, can you roll it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We want to make it about 1/2 inch thick. Okay, we need to not pull it. We don't want to pull it like that because that tears it. We want to roll it. There you go. Okay. All right, now we're going to flip it over, roll it some more. Here, okay. Here, keep it going. Okay. Go this way. Okay.
Oh, that one's good.
That was a good one. Okay, now I'm going to come this way. All right.
Could you make like little floorboards with this?
Well, we're making a bell, aren't we?
I know, but can you make like
little... Flip it one more time. Okay, now we're doing that.
It looks hard to flip.
No, it's pretty easy. It's like a pie dough.
So
I'm making it about 1/2 inch thick. Can you see how thick it is?
Look how clay my hands are already.
And now we're going to take our bowl that has the plastic on top of it. You want to help me put it on top?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lift it up. I'm just going to lay it right on top there. There we go. And then we're going to begin to just press it down. Just mold it to the...
It's going to look like a hat right now.
It is. It does look a lot like a hat. We're going to smooth it out.
Yeah, we're going to cut it a little.
So we're going to press this until it's formed the shape of the bowl all the way around. We're going to kind of smooth it down.
And then we're going to cut it with the knife.
And if there's any wrinkles, like I feel like there's a wrinkle over here, and we're just going to press that down so it's flat. Nice and smooth. And now...
Wait, but how are we going to get it off?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to let it wait. We're going to let it dry just a little bit. And then when it's kind of set up and what we call leather hard, it's a little harder than it is right now, then we lift it off. And because the plastic will come off with it.
Are we going to cut it first?
We are. So what you want to do is you want to, here, get a close-up of this. Get a close-up of this if you can have it. You want to cut not exactly against the bowl. You want to cut just about maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch away from the bowl.
Yeah, so like real bells have like a little bit more on the ground of it.
Yeah, they do, but we're going to press this in. We just don't want it to be too thin at the bottom so that it breaks easily. All right.
Is it hard to cut clay?
No, most clays cut really easily. All right, and now this part, what we want to do is we want to press it in. You want to help
So
me
it's
press
gonna
this
be
in?
like a bowl.
Yeah, so that just gives us a nice edge. See how I'm pressing the edge in?
Oh yeah, what there's
Like that.
Like
Just smooth it out and up. Just smooth it out and up. That gives us a nice finished edge on the bottom. And then what I do is I just take and I just kind of run my finger gently around the edge here, kind of using my thumbnail as just around the bottom like that. See? And we can move it away and it has a really nice finished edge. This is the fun part, Alex. You get to do the design. So what Alex is saying is if you make a design and you don't like it, just take a little piece of clay
and just fill it
and
back
just
in.
fill it back in, and you can kind of erase your mistakes that way. Okay. Ooh, you like the flowers from the spool.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a little lumpy.
Oh, you kind of like lots of lumpies on it, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna look super cool after.
Okay.
It might take a while. It might actually take a while to just get it. It's cool.
Tell us, you like the pebble top.
Yeah,
that you kind of created.
and also I made some arrows, if you can see on the bottom.
With those circles in the middle.
Yeah.
And there's some arrows. That's really cool. And then there's one last thing that we have to do, and what is that?
Poke a hole.
Right, so that we can put a string in the top, right? So we're going to put a hole right in the top. Be sure it goes all the way through.
Oh.
All right. So we're done with the bell part. Now we need to do some beads to attach to the bell, right? So we're going to set this aside for just a little bit.
What?
So what we need to do is just set this aside for about an hour until it begins to get what we call leather hard. And then you'll be able to lift it off of the pot, off of the bowl that we've got it onto, and let it dry. And let it dry the rest of the way. Right now it's a little too slippery, and it won't stay round. It'll kind of turn into. So after this has had a chance to dry just for a little bit, what you can do is take and gently lift it up. Maybe scoot it to the edge where you can get a handle underneath it. And you can gently flip it over and set it down. And then you can take the bowl out of the plastic like this. And then take the plastic off. And then let it dry all the way. And then you'll have a nice little bell. Alex is making a bead, and he's making it in the shape of a sheep. Can you see the sheep?
I actually wanted it to be a sheep.
Uh-huh.
Because this is actually like which bead?
So this is Alex's sheep, and he's going to put the hole in the bead so that we can string the string through. So you go straight from top and kind of twirl it. No, don't press, just twirl it down. There you go, all the way through till you can see it at the bottom. I'm going to show pretty soon. Here it comes. There it is. Okay. All right, and now we're going to take him off and then go through the other way. Put the pencil through the other direction. There
Like
you go.
this?
Straight down. Kind of twirl him all the way down. All right. Okay, now take it out.
Where is it? Oh.
Yeah, it's all the way through. All right, can you see through it? You can see
I
through
can
it.
see the phone.
So we know it's a bead. All
Yep.
right, that's a sheep bead. The next thing we want to make are the beads that go on our rope, just to make it pretty as it's hanging there and ringing. So the first thing we need to do is make the clapper, right, that rings the bell. So we're going to take another piece of clay. We're just going to kind of work it together a little so it's nice and smooth. press it down like you normally do. And then we're going to take and roll it out. And again, go about a 1/2 inch in thickness. Okay, that looks pretty good. What do you think? Then we're going to take our template, the thing that we used to draw around, and I'm going to flip it over here. Okay, I'm going to hold it with one hand. Then I'm going to take my knife and cut around it with the other. All right, I'm going to take that off. See, I've got a round circle now. And I'm just going to take and smooth the edges just gently so it's nice, it has a nice and clean look. Okay, and what's the other thing that we have to do? We have to put a hole in it, don't we? So I'm going to find the center of our circle, and I'm going to push my pencil into it. Okay. I'm going to make sure it goes all the way through. So I turned it over, and I'm going to go through the other direction too. All right, and then I'm going to set it aside to dry. Now we're going to make some round beads and some flat beads just to add interest to our hanging rope. So to make a round bead, you just kind of take your hands and kind of make it work out like this. We kind of do a circle, just do a ball like this. And then of course we need to put a hole in the middle, don't we? So we are going to just take our pencil, and if you kind of twirl your pencil, it goes through. Okay, watch for it at the other end. There it comes. Okay, and see how the clay kind of pokes out? I'm going to flatten that out. Then I'm going to take my pencil and go through the other way just to clean up that hole a little bit. All right. Now we have a bead with a hole in it. I'm going to set that aside to dry too. All right, so how many of those should I make? I should probably make 2 or 3 of those. But I think I want to make a different shaped bead. So I'm going to make kind of a bead that's shaped a little bit like my clapper, only littler. So I'm going to take and kind of roll a bead like this. What do you think of that? Okay. Let's kind of flatten it out. We're just going to kind of roll it. There we go. All right. Of course, if you want the top to be perfectly flat, you can take your gently roll the top of it to flatten it out a little bit. Okay, and make sure it's nice and round. All right, let's be sure and put a hole in the middle so we can string it. I'm going to go through that way, and then I'm going to go through the other way too. There we go. What do you think of that? That's kind of an interesting bead. There it is. See, I have a little bird bead that sits on my pencil. All right, and then we'll set him aside to dry too. So these are a lot of things that you can do, and you can make more beads, you can make more animals, whatever you'd like to string along that rope that we're going to be hanging the bell from. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing all the wonderful things that you make. Bye now.